Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
And we back at it, baby. Back for a new episode. JD over there studying real hard. Got that serious look on his face.
No, I'm reading something real quick. Yeah, man, go ahead with it. So you said we're back for another episode of the Argument Brothers podcast. We can't hear, what I mean, when you cut the music off, I can't actually hear it. So, the introduction has to be on your side, my brother. But we back. We here.
Yes,
It's
sir.
dynamic duo today.
Yes, sir.
That's always good. It's always good to have you back online, whether it's online or in house or what's going on. We getting play by Bryce. Bryce performance. He got 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. Looks like Bryce is already better than Keon at 14.
Yep.
Like, really good.
He already better than him.
Yeah, he's already better than him at 14 years old. So that's one thing we do know. That it may skip generations because he's already more tired than Keon as of today. But that's good to hear, man. That Bryce is doing well. I saw a little video of him the other day. He was actually he already dunking.
Yeah, so, he got nice size, bro. Yeah, he got nice size.
He's already dunking. I was like, he's dunking one hand, dunking two hand. Got, you know what I mean? It's definitely coming to him very naturally, man. So it's good to see. I'm proud to see our little nephew get out here and just do great things, man. Continue inspired to do great things as he going through this high school journey now, being that he's in the 9th grade, man. So proud to him for that, man. Give him a round of applause for Bryce, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk about the big trade that just happened this past weekend. That's not this past week, actually of yesterday.
Yep.
It was a humongous trade in the sense that what San Francisco gave up to go up in the draft to get the services of a young Trey Lance. Kid's only 22, 23 years old, if maybe 24. Only played 8 games so far. And as a starter, probably only 2 or 3 games. So hasn't really had the opportunity to really get out there and grow as a football player and grow as a quarterback. Only played 1 year of service at I always think of it South North Dakota State.
Yeah.
So he's not had a lot of experience. So the fact that they basically said, they're going to move on at this point, being that he has, limited amount of experience, limited amount of time, that's huge, man. They gave him 3 draft picks, 3 first-round draft picks. I think in a mid pick to get up the draft to get him. It's never heard of. Most time a guy gets the opportunity, he bombs out. But this is the first time we've seen a guy really not have the opportunity, has some injuries, and now is a part of the Dallas Cowboys. So let's talk about that. Give me your thoughts when you first heard about this trade.
I'm not surprised because I was telling Keon last week when we was out. I was like, man, Trey he just looks uncomfortable, and he just not really feeling uncomfortable, comfortable in the system. And I was like, man, I was them, I would trade him. Like I wasn't surprised.
Looks like we had a outage. If Ray on the other end there, I'm taking that. I'm not sure if he's the one having an outage or if it's me. Not sure about
So
that one.
early.
Oh, there you go, man. You came out, man.
Yeah. Sorry, like it's like they're giving up so early to a kid that they knew had raw talent when they drafted him. They knew he had limited starts in college at a D2 Division II, level. He struggled a little bit, the little bit of time that he had. So I just think they gave up too early, but I'm not surprised at the trade. Started in his league for whatever reason. They wasn't patient. They traded to Dallas. Now on the Dallas end, I'm kind of shocked, right? Dak wants an extension, and it's probably beneficial for Dallas to do an extension anyway, just to spread the money out from a cap standpoint. But if you're Dak, do you look at Dallas as don't want me as their long-term solution if you go trade for Trey Lance, give up a 4th-round pick? So I was definitely shocked where he went, but I'm not shocked that they traded him because he didn't look comfortable in the Shanahan system for whatever reason. And it just, I would have given him a little bit more time, but I'm not shocked by the trade.
I was shocked, man. The one thing about you normally find in football, people are very stubborn. So I was very shocked that they were willing to go this route so early, being that, maybe Brock Purdy works out, maybe he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Is the possibility you're looking to give Brock Purdy a bigger deal eventually? I'm not totally sure, but I did feel like, maybe this is a little bit too early. Young kid, 3 years in his 3rd year, he's had injury history. And I just thought like just the stubbornness of Shanahan or the GM, John Lynch, they will still try to figure this out. So and maybe somehow, they've had issues with quarterbacks getting injured throughout the season.
Facts. Bad luck.
We've had bad luck where they've had a quarterback that literally got injured in the last game of the season before the actual Super Bowl, and they had another quarterback got hurt. And why not have that third emergency quarterback there? The NFL is giving like this new option for teams to have a third quarterback on the roster. Yeah. I just assumed that this was going to be a situation where he would have went through the season, maybe got one more year in the belt, see what happens, and then maybe next year. But for them to give up on the Trey Lance project so early, maybe they didn't want to pay him, knowing that he was a 3rd-round pick.
You got 2 years left, though. And you got the tag. Like, you got options to keep him under wraps for a while, right? You're not paying for Sam Darnold. Like, why would you believe him? Like, he showed you 6 years what he's about, right? He showed you. I don't even think he even fits the Shanahan system, honestly, personally. But
he's a mobile quarterback. He can move. I think
he can move. But I just don't believe in Sam Darnold, man. He showed me for 6 years what he was.
Well, then my question is this, like, what did they see from him in the beginning? For you to move up to the 3rd pick, you have to see something in his physical abilities that you were like, man, we got to have him. I've seen a list of picks that they literally went past to get to the 3rd.
Yeah.
You missed out.
Justin Fields. They could have said
you could have got Fields if you didn't want to quote. You could have got Fields. You could have got Matt Jones. Well, I heard for a while that he was loving because he was very accurate, very, very quick with assessing the defenses and the coverages and have an accurate pass. Yeah, Justin Fields, a super athletic quarterback who could have been taking the reins. I don't understand. So now it doesn't even make any more sense. Why would you take that position? Yeah. Being that, you could have had anything else. Then all the weapons you missed out on. Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Waddle. It was a bunch of receivers and DBs. I think he even missed out on Parson. Is that the year Parson came out? Yeah, so all these guys they missed out on. They could have went and got that could have supplanted that and may been a feature on their offense or defense. And yet they went to Trey Lance and said, "You're our guy." To be honest with you, I think the mistake was made when they said he was the guy and they didn't make him the guy.
Yeah.
They made it. They had to sit down and they kept playing Jimmy. They should have let Jimmy go then. And at that point, if you were like, "Hey, man, this is our guy," you should let Jimmy go. It was just one of those situations where you should have been at that point like, all right, Jimmy, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna let you go, and we're gonna move on. And yeah, it's this situation is imploded. Now I'm interested. Now let's talk about the Dallas side of things. Like what do you think this is gonna mean for Dallas moving forward?
Unless they think they can't re-sign Dak, like why would you go get like no? Plus, do they believe in Cooper Rush? Cooper Rush played well when Dak was out, right? Right, like he played well in the system to be like he was capable. So now you go get Trey Lance. He's your second, he's your third, right? He's gonna have time to develop. But if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm looking at it like, okay, am I the quarterback of the future? Or you traded for this guy? Is he the quarterback of just 22, 23 years old? Like, what are you telling me? Right? If I'm Dak, like you don't make this trade for a young kid like that just to sit. And how many years you gonna sit him? And if I'm Dak what 30? If 31? Somewhere around there, and quarterbacks are playing damn near to their 45 for a long time, right? So if he's healthy, do you just give up a 4-round pick just because? So if I'm Dak, I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys kind of sideways.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, man. Because I mean, you basically got Dak 2.0.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, what is the scale of this? Is this a insurance policy if Dallas leaves, or if Dak gets hurt? Like, what is the scale of bringing a guy who it physically resembles exactly what you have?
Yeah.
Right. Like, and he is. I mean, keep it out there. He is Dak 2.0.
Yeah.
Physically, the talent. He probably has a stronger arm.
Yeah, he's a little bit more mobile, I think, than Dak.
Okay, so to me, they're both. They're not shifty, but their guys can get up and down the field. But they're both have. I mean, but he has a more stronger arm than Dak. So like, okay, so what's going to be presented there, right? Yeah. Like, it's that. I mean, it's so many parallels to this. Both teams, to me, are making a loud statement that they're both going two different directions, maybe, possibly, and they're making statements to the quarterbacks and to their organizations, and on Dallas behalf, it may be the end of that. Like, they're looking at somebody like, can you replace him?
Let him have another 15 interception season and watch where he be.
Yeah, so they could be putting Dak on notice. Hey, bro, like, this is where we're going to go with this. We're not going to sit around and keep just working and waiting. We want you to get better. We want you to take us to a championship. Well, at least to an NFC championship game. And if that's not the case, and it's a situation where he plays terrible going into the playoffs and play terrible in a playoff game, they may move forward with this young kid who can provide so much. I'm just amazed, man. I'm amazed. There's a lot going on the east side of each organization, and we can see some intermediate impact of this trade very soon, right?
Yeah, I would have seen him go to Minnesota. That'd have been a good look because Kirk Cousins on the last year, his deal, even if you sign Cousins to another 1-2 year deal, Trey could be the one to take over. But yeah, I was definitely shocked by Dallas.
Yeah, I didn't think Dallas would be even in play for that, right? Like you just said, Cooper Rush is a good backup.
Yeah, he played well.
Cooper Rush. So does he come in as a third quarterback?
Right. He would have to, right? And he gonna sit for the whole time.
Are you gonna trade Cooper?
Shit, I don't know if anybody want Cooper Rush like that.
So that's gonna be the thing. So now, like, what's your move on that end?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Cooper Rush. Got to be. Are you cutting Cooper Rush?
Shit, I wouldn't. I mean, you gotta look. You need talent in the NFL. I get it. People get hurt all the time, but 3 quarterbacks. I don't know, man. With the talent that they have, I know they're in win now mode, but yeah, I'm kind of shocked by Dallas. But Jerry Jones, he liked to make press clippings. He liked to be the talk of the town. So he liked this type of splash move.
But do you want to do that in the sense of alienating your quarterback?
That's what you don't want to do. Because like I said, if I'm Dak, bro, I'm having a conversation.
Like, that's exactly what he just did. He alienated him. I mean, alienated him. So he's like, hey, we want this, we want that, and you're not realizing you're about to really have a problem with your quarterback because he's gonna look at this as an issue.
He should. I know I would. Like, I'm still in the prime of my career.
Exactly, brother. I'm just, it's interesting, a lot going on. Like you said, man, it's a lot going on in the old Big D. All right, man. So let's get to the next topic, man. Dolphins. There's a rumor out that the Dolphins want to trade for Taylor, JT, Indianapolis Colts. Should they make this deal, bring him in, or what other team you feel like out there should be looking for Jonathan Taylor and his services as a premier running back?
Yeah, if I'm the Dolphins, nope, I wouldn't do it because I think you got enough in house with Morset. Even though he get banged up a lot, you got Green last year from San Francisco. You got the kid Miles Gaskin. So you have some. You just drafted a young rookie in like the third or fourth round last year. I think his name is Achine, Divine Achine. So you have depth there, and you're a passing team. Let's be real. Like you're a passing team. You got two dynamic receivers. You have Gesicki at tight end. Like you have weapons on from a passing game. Is Jonathan Taylor that piece that's gonna put you over the top? I don't think so. I think the division is tough enough, but I think they have enough depth at running back to get over the hump. It's all about Tua. If Tua stay healthy, I think they're gonna have a very solid team. They're gonna compete in the AFC East. But I would trade the pieces and the picks that the coach wants to get Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I think it's make the move, man. Well, I mean, you should always have a talented running back room.
Yeah, no doubt.
And whatever services you provide, man, if you can get the talent for a premium price, why not go for it? I mean, it only expands your running back room. He's a workhorse type running back. Now, how long do you want his services? Because he wants a new contract.
Yep, that's the thing too.
He wants to get paid. So, what is the objective here? Are you willing to pay him? You got your quarterback solidified. I think you've already provided an extension. I'm not sure if Water got a new deal yet, but
coming up.
His deal's coming up. You've already took care of your premier receiver. You got the you already got your DBs signed, and you redid your premier rusher deal last year when you made that trade. So you got all the premier players, premier talent in places that it should be. Now at running back, why not bring in a guy who's been a top 3 rusher in the last 2 or 3 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me, it makes perfect sense. I have no issues with him bringing him in. I just the fact they got to pay him.
Yeah, that's true. That's the big thing.
You have to provide whatever he's looking for. If not, you're just renting him. So are you willing to give up that pin for that rental? When I look around the landscape of the league, I don't see anywhere else can he land. Maybe Denver because they're having some running back issues. They still have that young kid that come off of ACL.
Yeah.
But with Cook going to the Jets, what else do he has? The Vikings already decided they're going to go with the young guy. Yeah, what else is there? What else is there out there that he can go to from a running back position that's going to be able to, one, get him the touches he needs, and also in the future, in the nearby future, pay him?
I would look at Chicago. They let Montgomery go, right? The bell cow that they had here in Detroit. And now they got the journeyman Foreman that was bouncing around the league. He'd been with Carolina. He was with Houston last year. He was with the Texans. He was with the Tennessee Titans. So he's bounced around. So I think he's probably the main back. So if I'm Chicago, you get an elite running back, right? You got a dynamic quarterback. Now you can relieve him from all this running he's going to have to do. Chicago, I would make the move, especially when you got a division that I feel is wide open now.
But a lot of his running, Justin Fields' running came from just him scrambling. So I don't know. Some things were design runs, some things were scrambles. So I think he's going to stay in that lane. But I think Chicago wants to put more money in the receiving core and the linemen versus the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, we see across the league how running backs are definitely devalued, but you do need a good, solid running game. And I guess Chicago's banking on, we've got Foreman, we got the kid from our A&T coming back, Khalil Herbert. He's going to give us some in the passing game. So I feel maybe they feel like they have enough, right? But Jonathan Taylor, like he's between a rock and a hard place. I think he's got to, Tuesday to make a decision because I think the cut down coming soon, process decision. So
they're not going to cut him. They're going to put him out there just so they can trade him.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be with the Colts, bro, honestly. Now, whether he be on the pup list, I think because he got a deadline like by Tuesday or something with his back, right? So he has to decide if he's on the active roster or not. If not, he's going to sit out for like the first 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, but you still got midseason to trade him. So I think he's
You
gonna
got
be traded.
time.
I
Yeah, you
don't know
got
when it's
time.
gonna happen. I think he's gonna be traded though. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Maybe he will open the season on the roster with the Indianapolis Colts. I like what they're doing with the young kid. He is definitely looking like he is I don't want to say a seasoned veteran, but he looks like he has the talent to be a good quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's definitely looking like the Buffalo Bills quarterback.
Yeah,
He looks just like him. I mean, literally his build, his size, his movement. He's probably faster, probably a little bit stronger too,
probably got a better arm too.
and probably has a better arm. More accurate with his passes than he is. But man, he definitely fits the bill to be an NFL quarterback. When a lot of people were fearing that he wasn't going to be that type of quarterback. Maybe, you know what I mean, that there were a lot of questions there. So I don't know. I mean, Taylor Wilson, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I don't know where he was gonna land, but I definitely feel like the Dolphins should make that move. They've been wanting some running back help in a while for a while anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, and like you said, you need a strong running game, bro. Like I get it that they're not paying the guys like they would want, but it's a valuable position. Like it is. You can't throw the ball 50 times and expect to win any games,
It's
especially
a
in
needed
football.
it's a needed position too.
Yeah.
100%. It's a needed position. It's 100% needed position. All right, let's dive into what's going on with your Commanders.
My man
Who are
D
we?
Spring, the
Who are we?
commander. The
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 Commanders. Who are we?
the drunk owner that was on the
Yo, he was drunk,
that
bro. I don't know what people saw. I saw they all the
boy
opposite.
was fried.
He was fried, man. I'm like, man, like he's fried. When he tried to shake dude head,
Yeah, he
I was
did.
like, why is he shaking his head?
And Joe Buck just played that joint on so smooth.
He
He let him
did. He
just
was
shake his
like,
hand.
yo. He looked at him, I'm like, man, why is he trying to shake his head? Nobody's talking about how drunk he was, dog. He was drunk as hell on that thing, man. Like, I'm watching the game, like, why is he trying to shake his head? Like, and Joe Buck, like, looked at him like, hey, why are you trying to shake my head? And then so did
Troy.
Troy, he tried to shake Troy's hand. Troy looked at him like, what is he doing? Then he put his hand out there and shook it, man. First, he was looking at him like, why is this dude trying to shake, man? Like, come on, man. You are super nervous or you were drunk. I know he ain't nervous. So,
He had the first home game, the new ownership.
nah, he was
I done had me a few,
lit that
dog.
thing. He was firecracking lit. Came with that thing with this little goofy look on his face. I'm like, man, come on, brother. You are lit as they come.
Yeah.
So, man, but the rumors are they're trying to trade Young.
Yeah, I would keep him. Too much of a talent, man. And when he's healthy, you show what he can do, right? And it's another time where we just give up on players too easy. I would let him play the season out, go out in free agency. If he have a big year, you can always tag him. If he don't have a great year, shit, you can just let him walk, right? Like, but I get you may want picks for him, but nobody's not gonna give you what you truly may want for a broken down Chase Young, right? But if he has a monster year, hell, you can tag him for a year. Even though you done paid Pat, Payne, and Allen and all them boys, but you can never have enough D-line help rushing the passer, bro. Can't never have enough.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay him next year. They don't want to. He was on a prove it, move on type deal last year anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look around the league, pass rush are premium.
It is.
You could probably get maybe a second round pick for him, maybe a high third, second round pick. Well, not high third because we don't know where they're going to pick and land. But a second or third round pick, maybe even both. I don't think it was the first round pick for him, but you can definitely get a second or third round pick for him. And I feel like that's going to be a chance for him to reestablish himself. Since he was a rookie, he hasn't really done much. He hasn't been healthy.
Yeah.
So at this point, you have Sweat.
Yeah, you got Sweat, Allen, Payne.
Allen. You already paid Payne and Allen. So you got Sweat. How much you going to invest in that line? So somebody's going to odd man out. It's going to be either him or Sweat.
And it might be
a little bit more productive.
Yeah, it might be a good change of scenery for Young too. You know what I'm saying? Getting away from home, restart his career. His career is not over, right? He's only 4 years in the league, going into his 5th year. Like, you still have a lot left. You just got to stay healthy, man. Your best availability.
And that's just been the issue, man. I think he hasn't been healthy. I just feel like at this point, they're knowing that they're going to have to pay Sweat.
Yeah.
Like I said, they've already paid Payne and Allen. I mean, we're talking almost $200 million between the three people. Right now, it's $150 million between two.
And then too, he has to develop something in his game. Like the first year when he took the league by storm, it was just brute talent, just blowing.
Yeah, he was just physically dominating right and left tackles, bro. But now they're looking at it like people got film on you.
Yep.
There's no second or third move. He
Yeah.
reminded me a lot of when my man from the Falcons had that breakout year.
Oh, Beasley,
Huh?
DM from Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he had that breakout year, then the next year he had like 15 sacks, and people were looking at him like, man, this guy's incredible. And then the next year he had like 4 and 5. And people were just like, okay, we're starting to see like he had no second, third move.
Yeah, you gotta develop that, bro.
He had the bend, he'll bull rush or bend, and that's it. And everything else, that was it. And after that, man, like it was nothing else in his moves. He was nothing else developed from a skill set standpoint that didn't get him to that next level. And that's what they were trying to pay for. Same thing was going on with this kid. They're seeing it like, okay, you don't have a second and third move. We really now got to focus on trying to establish a core of players on the line that we can move with the future with. I just don't see it, man. I feel like he's at that point where he's not gonna. I think they're gonna move on from him, and I wouldn't be surprised if they trade him before the season starts.
Yeah, I definitely think he's. If I'm him, do he just say, "Look, man, just," and they're not gonna cut him, but if I'm him, that you definitely want to trade me. Let me get out of here, start my career over, maybe a fresh new start. But he definitely got to add something to his game. He's too talented.
Way too talented for him, man. So he just really needs to just focus on just getting back to doing things he normally do. He's a heck of a football player, but like I said,
Yeah,
he just doesn't. It's just one of those things where he's not. It's gonna be like I said, he's gonna be the odd man now. He just doesn't have. It's not enough film. It's not enough games being played, and then they're not gonna. I mean, for a top 2 pick, the amount of money there's gonna be spent on him.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. And he's got a lot of good money from the first contract, right? He's a top 2 pick. He's got top 2 money, guaranteed contract.
guaranteed.
Next one is going to be a show me type of contract, right? You got to show.
You got to prove it.
That you still have. You got to prove it, man. To show them that you still can stay healthy and that you can still go out and dominate.
Yep.
Dominate.
Because like you said, he has the talent to dominate. We saw it. But people going to question like that. Is he going to stay healthy to invest this type of money? 10, 12, 13 million dollars, like he gonna have to show it. And I think if he balled this season, somebody gonna pay him. Or
absolutely,
somebody gonna pay him.
But I still feel like at this point, I just feel like he's gonna. I just feel like at this point he's gonna end up getting traded before the season starts.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna happen. Let's get some NBA conversation, man. Let's talk a little bit about the Harden situation. We haven't had the opportunity to get our take on it. I don't think we discussed it last time, it's been some changes here. So, of course, Harden and Daryl Morey has been going back and forth, and Harden wants to be traded, wants to move on. The issue right now is that Harden feels like Daryl Morey betrayed him, that he didn't stick to the gentleman's agreement that they had as far as trading and moving out of Philly. Once the new season started. So, he doesn't trust him, and he feels like he's not coming back. Your thoughts on that, Ray? Let's start off. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, did Daryl Morey actually lie to him, right? If Morey said, look, I'm going to trade you, Harden has been in the league a very long time to know how things work.
Mm-hmm.
Really, why would I take bad contracts back? Why would I take lesser players back for a 7, 8-time All-Star, former MVP, just led the league in assists last year? Why would I take anything just because you want to get to LA to the Clippers, right? I didn't lie to you. I'm still trying to trade you, right? I'm having conversations with teams, but it just hasn't panned out. So how did I lie to you and say I'm going to trade you? And I could say if I didn't have no discussions with any team, then yes, I lied to you because now I talked to you into picking up the player option, right? But if James Harden truly wanted to leave, he could have left. He was a free agent. He could have not picked up the $36 million, and that's the reason why he did it. I get it. I wouldn't turn down $36 million either because he knows he's not going to get that in the open market, even on probably a 3, 4, 5-year deal. He's not getting $36 million a year. He's not even getting probably maybe $20 million a year, right? He knew, yes, you pick it up, but I don't think Daryl Morey lied to him. I just think the Philadelphia 76ers are just waiting for a better offer. And if you only tell me you only want to go to the Clippers, other than unless they're throwing in Maxey, right? Or not Maxey, the kid, what's the boy name, man? Damn. He looked like Maxey. Jesus Christ. Uh, what's the other guard for the Clippers, man?
You know Bones?
Not Bones is another one. He's talented. They got the other kid that played in the backcourt as well. He remind me just like Terrence Maxey, bro. He remind me just like him for real.
I'm not sure. Go ahead, move on, man.
But yeah, like you throwing in PG or Kawhi. Like I don't want Norman Powell. I don't want these other bad contracts that's 2-3 years. This is a bad deal. Like I'm gonna actively shop you, but you can't tell me that you just want to go to LA, bro. Like if you want out here, let me find the best deal that's gonna be mutual for both of us. Because you're gonna hit the free market anyway the next season. What's the difference? Play the season out and walk if you want to, but he's not getting the type of money because we see James Harden. He show up when he want. He never look like he's really in shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't blow by nobody anymore. His jumper seems like it's broken. So I don't think Daryl Morey lied to him, bro. I just think they're just not getting the offers that they want for a caliber of Harden. And he's still serviceable. So he's still give you 20 and 10. He's still serviceable in this league, top 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. But so is he gonna show up to training camp?
Yeah, that's gonna be the question, right? I don't. For me, I don't understand it. First of all, we need to figure out. The NFL is doing. The NBA is doing an investigation, but I just need to understand what was the discussion. Mm-hmm. I think that's the number one issue you're gonna have. Like, what is the discussion that was had between these two individuals that led to James Harden all of a sudden having this particular level of issue? Yeah. Like that's the number one thing we're all trying to figure out, right? Like he said one thing, Daryl Morey hasn't said nothing. Mm-hmm. So, like, what was the issue? That's the first problem. Like, we need to have that. We need to figure that out first. Yeah. Like, what was discussed? Was it a handshake deal or was it not? Here's the thing. Like, you got to look out for the betterment of your organization. So there's no way you could just trade just to be trading. That's going to be a problem. I mean, the NBA will overlook that, review it, will have the better understanding. They will ask that question, like, what happened? Mm-hmm. So there's no way in the world that you're going to be in a situation where that can be allowed. So, I think that's the part that he has to understand. Like, there's no way that can happen. Yeah. But for the most part, you got to realize that, I mean, what we're seeing from a player like James Harden on the latter part of his career is that his choices are dwindling. Yeah, they're not the same. They're not the same as it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Right, and he's going to these locations and things are not working. Yeah, so he's coming problematic. Yeah, 3 teams, 3 years. Like 3 teams in 3 years, man. He's coming very problematic, and he's becoming very expensive. Yeah. And not in the financial aspect of like your salary, he's becoming expensive in the sense of the capital that you always have to give up for him because his salary is so high. His salary amount is so high. Being that he took that $35 million, that's a high salary. Yeah. That may not be the salary that the minimum NBA veteran makes. That's a high salary. So guys are looking at it like, well, we need more compensation for that type of salary, and we're going to need young premium talent. I just feel like he's not realizing that aspect of it, and that's where a lot of these things are falling short. And he's gonna, if he feels like something's going to happen very soon, it's going to be very tough, man. He may end up having to figure out how to sit. Maybe I ain't gonna say sit out the year. He's gonna be in a situation where it's not gonna move anytime soon.
Unless he pull like a Ben Simmons, just show up and just being annoying to where they just say, "Look, bro, go home."
Well, I think he's not gonna show up, right? I don't think he's gonna do what he did in Houston when he did show up, and there is still the physical, the health, the problem. I think he's gonna be in a situation where the weight was a problem. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a situation where he's not gonna show up, but it's just gonna be like, all right, well, just don't show up. We're just gonna keep moving forward. Yeah. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen there, man.
Yeah, and get fined every day. So the kid is Terrence Mann. That's the young kid.
Terrence Mann. Yeah, I don't think they want to give up Terrence Mann though.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I'm Philly, I would want like him. I don't want no Marcus Morris Sr. I don't want no Norman Powell. Like Batum. Like come on, dog. Like why would I want that? Like scraps. Like 3 cents on the dollar, dog. Like no, I'm not. No.
Yeah. But they're not going. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get that guy.
Yeah, and listen, you'll never get equal value for any. And I still consider James Harden a star in this league. Mm-hmm. equal value. Like this, you just
Nah,
know,
not gonna
right?
be there, bro.
But I'm
Yeah,
not about to like take bad contracts back where we strap for salary cap for the next 2-3 years. They can't really
exactly,
sign Terrence Maxey, what you got to do next season, right?
exactly.
Eventually, Embiid gonna want a new deal. You know what I'm saying? Like so. I don't know, man. Harden is in the rock between the rock and the Harden place. That's what he is right now.
And he's gonna have to realize that, like I said before, that contract's gonna be tough to swallow, man.
Yep.
That's not a contract a lot of people want to swallow. It
Not
just
for the
is what it is.
like, but I need you to step up in big games. Like you know,
Exactly.
I don't need
Better
4
chance he's
points.
gonna win outside of Philly. Maybe
No,
you feel like, I mean, like, and then here's another thing, like you win if you go to Clippers, right? It's only one basketball.
yeah,
What happened to the issue you had with Russ in
yeah,
Houston?
yeah. Kyrie and KD.
Yeah, like I mean, like you had an issue with Russ in Houston, and all of a sudden now did something change? Why not just stick with that team?
Yeah, like I don't need 4 point James Harden. Scared to shoot the ball.
I
Like
don't know, man.
I'd rather you go 1 for 20. At least you trying. Looking at the basket, you know.
I don't know, man. Let's move on, bro.
It's gonna be must see TV though. Training camp.
Training camp gonna be interesting. Yeah,
Because I want to see what Joel Embiid with his. You know, he quick with the lip. Like, is he gonna say
I don't
something
think
when training
he's
camp
not
comes? He
happy
not
with
there.
what's going on. Yeah, I don't think he's happy with what's going on either. But give me your thoughts real quick, though. What do you think about the U.S. team right now?
They're looking pretty good, man. The young talent, they have cohesiveness. And then Edwards is like he ready to be a superstar. And this is the time where you put the world on notice, all the global eyes on you. This is how you become a star. This is how you become a big time star where everybody see you. A lot of the upper NBA stars are playing. You got Big Cat playing. You got Luca playing. You know, Spain is always tough. Greece is gonna be tough, right? So this is where you make your name. But they're playing well. Halliburton is dishing that thing, playing well. Reeves is playing well.
Right.
Holding down the middle. This is gonna be a good test for the U.S. in the World Cup though, because like you said, generally in the World Cup you don't get a lot of the NBA stars that play for the other teams, but other teams do, but not our big time stars. But it's gonna be a good test for them. But they're looking good right now.
They got some real competition. I watched them against New Zealand today. That game was a lot closer than people expected. I mean, I think the point spread was 35, and they only won by like maybe 20.
Yeah,
And they were down at one point. They were down like majority of the first half until like mid second quarter. And then they came out and all of a sudden then at that point they started pulling away. They went about 11 at halftime. Then they came out and started really, pulling away from the team. But it was times where I was like, ugh. You know what I mean? A lot of turnovers, a lot of like, iffy basketball. Seemed like they didn't trust each other very much.
Yeah.
And guys over dribbling.
Yeah.
And then eventually they started figuring it out, like, okay, we're just better than them. But they're gonna have some games that's gonna be really close. I think the Spain game they played with was really close.
Yeah.
I think the game against Luka and Yugoslavia, I think is who he plays for.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's gonna be tough, man. I think that's gonna be is it Slavia or Yugoslavia? Yugoslavia. I think it's gonna be very, very it's gonna be a game that's gonna be very tough. They're gonna and way Luka controls the game.
yeah, slow pace.
I can see them having a tough game. But I mean, Canada
Yeah.
is better than what people think. I mean, with their young talent and SGA in them, they're playing well.
Yep.
I ain't a lot of you. I didn't know. First of all, why is Cat playing for the Dominican Republic?
I got dual citizens. I think his dad or mom is DR from the DR.
I had no idea. I saw that. I was like, man, and they have like, what about
Jordan Clarkson.
Eric Gordon?
Yeah, Eric Gordon playing with Bahamas. I think Jordan Clarkson.
I think Cat's playing for the Bahamas. Is he not? I think Eric Gordon's playing for the Bahamas, but somebody's playing for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I think that's Big Cat for DR, right? I think.
Let's see. Let me see.
Then Jordan Clarkson, he playing for somebody too. Like all these cats got these dual citizenships or whatever. But if I'm Steve Kerr, bro, you have enough depth and talent. You got to make your defense the number one turns into offense. Like I'm picking people up half full court. I'm pressing. Like I'm making people work.
DR.
Yeah, I'm making teams work because I know I got 12 NBA quality players that's great. Any one of them can start. So I'm putting pressure defensively on teams to wear them out because I know we got more depth than a lot of these teams in World Cup.
Yeah, you're right. His mom is Dominique Cruz, and she was a DR citizen, and or she come from DR descent, so that's how he's able to get that dual citizenship.
Yeah,
I was watching it, and that's what's gonna make it tough because some of these teams that you normally used to roll over,
yeah, you got
they're
one
gonna
thing.
be
There's a
they're
whole
gonna be
difference.
they're gonna be tough, man.
Yep.
Like I
Ain't gonna be
mean,
easy.
Eric Ford playing for the Bohemian team. That they're going to be tough teams to play against.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be easy like a cakewalk, like it
Yeah,
used
it's
to be
gonna
back in
be
the day.
it is gonna be real tough, man. It's gonna be interesting how that all works out. All right, so let's get the thoughts on what's going on with the debate between Steph and Magic as the greatest point guard of all time. Start us off, man. Like, what when you heard about this? What were you thinking as far as this comparison and the fact is Steph greater? Is the greater point guard between him and Magic Johnson? Since we are putting just that those are the two greatest point guards of all time.
Absolutely. Now, look, Steph has the accolades to say that, right? So it's not like, oh, you tripping, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you look at what Magic did. Magic was the changed the NBA. Yes, Steph Curry has changed how we look at the NBA now with the 3-point game. But when the game was struggling TV wise, Magic Bird was the guys, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then Jordan took it to the next level. But triple doubles, and we never looked at Magic as a big scorer, but he controlled the game. He won what 4 championships within his first like 8 years with the Lakers or something like that. Like he dominated from the get go. Like his rookie year, he dominated, right? His whole entire career. Steph had ankle injuries his early years. He got hurt. We didn't look at him as a Steph as we look at him now. So I got Steph definitely maybe top 3 point guards of all time, but I wasn't like, boy, Steph, you tripping. Like he has a legitimate conversation because of the 4 titles, all-time 3 scorer, throwing 3-point shots. Like he has a legitimate conversation. He's in there, but to
Mm-hmm.
say Magic, nobody would never give Steph that kind of credit over Magic unless he wins another couple championships.
You know, as I sit here and think about it, you know, at first I was definitely like, well, number one, my interest in this, we do got to conclude that Magic did play with Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem's MVP of the league, Magic rookie season. So even though Magic came in dominating, he had a lot of veteran power players whether it was Norm Nixon or some of the other veteran guys that came in. He came in really honestly with a different understanding of how drafting was maintained back then.
Mm-hmm.
How bringing in like cause normally you would have a really for him and his talent, you wouldn't have somebody come in with an average team. I think at the time the year before they were just an average team. They weren't awful.
Yeah.
But you really have somebody really poor. So maybe his career would be different. But I think the same thing goes with Steph because Steph came in. I think he was the 10th pick, if I'm not mistaken, 10th or 11th pick, or 7th pick. I think he's in that range. He was able to get to a team that he was able to grow into his role. He wasn't the main player. So kind of similar to a certain way because I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Steph came to Golden State, that was my man from Memphis. My man from Jackson, Mississippi's team.
Yeah, like Monte Ellis.
Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis was the guy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it allowed him. And then David Lee became in there. He was one of the more premier players. So he was able to grow into his role, and we see what we see as of today.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the greatest point guard, bro, you gotta realize that Magic had 19 and 11, and that's his career average as far as a point assists and his career average in scoring.
Yep.
19 and 11. Magic was never a jump shooter.
Nope.
So the fact that he averaged 19 and 11 per game, that's a double-double. I mean, we are on about triple-doubles came from Oscar. We know about it.
Yeah.
That double-double, 19 and 11 a game, 6'9", can handle the ball, handle on the break, in a different level of basketball that was way more physical.
Yeah, facts.
So it's that's the scale that we have to see things. And I asked somebody the other day, like, why did he jump over Isaiah?
Yeah, like Isaiah, 2-time champion, great defensively.
Great average. I think he averaged almost 14 assists a game one time. I think he averaged like 20, 25, and 14. in a
Shit, Jake,
season.
shit, Jake Kidd.
J Kidd, it's a lot of point guards that people were like just skip past and say, it's about Steph. I think at times we really get beyond, we get caught up in the situation. Steph, now I do feel this. Steph has the right to say what he wants to say. If he
Oh,
feels like, hey, why not? Why not?
absolutely.
It's right now. It's in the era of Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Why not say that type of thing and be out there and be honest about it? Because if you feel that way, you feel that way. But there, as people like ourselves, people who have these platforms and podcasts and everything out there, we got to survey the land a little bit more and look around and figure out like, okay, from top to bottom, let's not act like there weren't other great point guards that was out there who also can fit this bill,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And eventually you're gonna have to look at Russ's career. He didn't win the championship, and
Yeah,
he put up the numbers. We talking about numbers.
yeah, he got numbers. There's no question about
His
that.
numbers to add line with anybody else.
Yeah, like to average a triple double more than once, but I just don't see people putting the energy to want to do that.
Think about how LeBron's been a great point guard at times. And he has to be the point guard for his team. James, we just talking about
Harden, yep.
James Harden. James Harden, I think he averaged like 30 and 14 in the season.
Yeah.
Like those type of things you just can't miss out on and just say, hey man, skip right to Steph.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he
Steph,
got the accolades and numbers, and I don't knock him for saying it. And it's
yeah.
not like it's super crazy, like bro, you tripping. I mean, he got the numbers, but to
He
say
can
at it,
exactly.
I would,
He can say it, but you also gotta put this stuff in a frame and we gotta put this in context.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
realize it. So I respect what he said, and I don't
Yeah,
I can honestly disagree with him. But if he feels that way, I'm not saying he shouldn't feel that way.
yeah, I'm not saying
And
tripping.
and I also feel what Michael Jordan said.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan's rebuttal when he provided what he provided that to, he didn't say that he didn't provide to Stephen A. Smith. So if he provided to Stephen A. Smith, I can understand where he came from with his thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
Jordan, he all about titles. Like he'll even say Kobe is over LeBron, regardless because of the titles. It's strictly
Mhm.
championships with Jordan. That's it. It's strictly championships. At the end of the day, you both can have similar stats, but it's about titles with Michael Jordan.
I agree. So it is what it is. But man, it was a great discussion though.
Yeah, it's good. It makes good TV.
It does make good TV. It makes good conversation all day long, man. Let's get what's going on right now. The World Championships going on. This is my thing right here. I love track and field. I'm a
Yes,
track and field guy. I love the sport. I love watching. I love the people competing. We have been able to see some of the greatest talent in this sport perform against each other, whether it's from Jamaica or across the world, United States, and beyond. So I'm just happy just to enjoy it and be able to talk about it. But one thing I want to point out before we even get to ShaCarri and talk about her accolades and what she's done and what I thoughts on that, let's talk about Noah Lyles. I've had the opportunity to see this young man, who's originally from this area, run at TC Williams. I've seen him perform and run there and really kill it and be the number one uh, sprinter in America for almost like a couple of years. Him and his brother like 1 and 2.
mm,
So to see him start to live up to now that to live up to that those accolades are not just the accolades, but to live up to the potential that a lot of people think he had.
yeah,
We saw how he performed. I'm not sure you're aware, but we saw how he performed in the 2021 Olympics. He placed fifth in 200. He definitely underperformed, and I think he talked about this in an interview that he had to go get therapy, go through a lot of different situations to get his confidence back.
yeah,
And then get back out there and perform again. And then I think he won the nationals in Eugene and came back and won the world champion. He's won the world championship 3 years in a row. He did place in the 100. Now he won the 100 in the world championship. So he's the first sprinter since Usain Bolt to win the 1 and the 2.
that's
Give me
amazing.
your thoughts on that, man. As I give you all these accolades, give me your thoughts on how do you feel about seeing what this young man accomplished so far in track and field, being age 26.
Man, it's amazing. It just shows his mental fortitude. Like I said, didn't others he wanted to do in the Olympics in 2021, the COVID in 20, to come back and just show the mental fortitude to be able to dominate like people wanted him to be long time ago. Like he's now living up to the standard of winning the 100 and the 200. And like I said, to be the first since Usain Bolt, it's an amazing accomplishment, man. It should give him all of the confidence going into the 24 Olympics. He definitely should be the favorite. And, it's a testament, man. So, definitely shout out to Noah Lyles. Give him a applause for that, man. So when you're great and you have to be mentally tough and sharp every single race, it's not easy, right? When the expectation is to win and you have to win every single race and you can never have a bad day, like you have to be mentally strong and mentally tough. And to win both, man, shout out to him, man. He representing the DMV. And he's doing an amazing job, man. So going into the Olympics next year, he's definitely gonna be able to rip it up again.
Yeah, I agree, brother. When you have a level of expectation that he's had to live with probably for the last 6-7 years of his career, coming out of high school, he didn't go to college. So the first thing he did is, focus on track and field. And you go through that, and you've been the number one sprinter for a very long time. I think even right now, when they show the rankings, he's the number one sprinter. Especially in the 200. It's one of those things where it's so much, and I think ShaCarri went through the same situation. There's so much tribulation on you as an athlete to get it done, to always be the best. And man, listen, track and field is a hard sport, brother. One move one way, one fail step. You have to depend on your it's one that you have to depend on your internal fortitude and your training.
Yeah.
There's nothing else left outside of steroids. So two things you can depend on: your mental fortitude and your training.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're gonna have to rely on. And you may not have your best race.
Yeah, you may not be great every race.
And that's it.
It happens.
And that's what you see. See, a lot of times guys don't have their best race, and then the situation just, can turn left. And they have to figure it out from there. And so for somebody to have to go in, rebuild his confidence, and then come back out there and perform at a high level, man. Kudos to that brother for really showing that he has lived to his potential. And I think we're only going to see big things from him. He's in his prime. I think it's his prime years. He better get together because keep going, because there's a young man. I think his name is Kerrigan. Aragon Knighton. That's his last name. And he's 19. And he won silver.
Young bull.
He won silver in the 200. He's 19, based out of Florida, and he won silver in the 200. And at 19 years old, everybody know on the circuit he's coming. Yeah. And so there's a 7-year difference between him and Noah. And Noah got to know that this kid is 19. I mean, he's about 6'1", 6'2". I mean, 19 years old competing at the World Championship. He medaled at the Olympics at 17. But it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So it's a lot of talent in this sport. And I love seeing it, man. I love watching what he did. And so, like you said, man, he put on for the DMV. So shout out to him, man, for just doing what he had to do. Let's get to ShaCarri, though, man. What was your thoughts on her performance?
Man, it's amazing bounce back. Like we got on her just like everybody else got on her last year. Not being in shape, look like she's not taking it serious. I know she had a lot of stuff going on with her grandmother, but you still got to perform, right? Nobody cares about what you got going on the field. They care about what you're doing on the track, right? Mm-hmm. Premier athlete. It's amazing to see how she can flip the switch, right? Because the prelim, the race before, she didn't have as great of a race. And then when she got to that final, being in the 8th lane, is it 8 lanes? I think it's 8, right?
She's in the 9th lane.
9th lane, not the greatest lane. It's probably not the best lane for any track person would tell you. You don't want to be in the 1st or the 9th. You want to kind of be that 3, 4, 5 kind of in the middle so you can see your competition. And to dominate like she did, and she didn't get off to the greatest start, right? She had to run the girl down and win at the tape. So, shout out to, ShaCarri Richardson, man. Just staying focused, man. And I know it's hard when you've been great all your life, coming out of, Texas, a big stable track. You got to just continue to stay focused. Take the main thing, and not worry about what people saying. Ignore the chatter on the outside. Do what you do and control what you could control. And it seems like she's on that path right now. Continue this path, and it's only going to be up from here going into the Olympics next year. Just continue doing what you're doing, man.
I'm a little different, man. I'm a little iffy on her performance.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. So, expectation-wise, I'm happy that she won the 100. I think she showed everybody that she's now putting the work in. Yep. So the mental aspect, her mental game is better now, right? Yeah. The physical talent was always there. I knew she was gonna get smoked when she falls. When she went to get some Jamaicans. When I looked at her body, I could tell she wasn't been training. So I was like, "Yo, she gonna get smoked." I mean, I think I even said it in front of y'all. Like,
he called it.
She gonna get smoked. She don't know like she's trained at all. And so when she got smoked, it kind of was like, that makes sense. But it's good to see that she put in the work to get herself back to what we know from there. But I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. She is the greatest prospect America's have Vanessa's producing in track and field, especially for women, in the last 20 years. I mean,
even more than Alex Felix. Allison Felix.
But that's different because this is a different sport.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Alex Felix ran the 4. Oh, I think she ran the 4.
4, I think. Yeah.
I think she did run the 4. And I think if she ran the 1, I don't know if she ran the 4x1, but I don't recall Alex Felix ever.
I don't think she was in the 100 range.
Yeah, I think she ran the 4. I think her and Ross. I think they all ran the 4x1. Yeah. I mean 4x4. Yeah. But she is the greatest prospect in the 1 and 2 that America's produced in the last 20 years. I mean, before that, maybe the hype was Marion Jones, and she was on Baco steroids. So, and before that, maybe Gail Devers.
Yeah, Flojo, like in that area. Divas.
That's 80s, and Gail Devers in 90s.
Yeah.
So that has not been an athlete outside of this young lady that has been on the scene that we're looking at, and we know she can compete with the Jamaican women every race.
Yeah, facts.
So I knew she was gonna be good. Like I watched, I was like, this girl's gonna be good. It's just a matter of time. The longest, but I always felt like she allowed the theater of the sport to affect the way she thinks about the sport. Mm-hmm. Right? I think she allowed, I mean, I hate to say this. I don't hate to say it. I love saying it, actually. I think that the drama, the culture of how we are as Black people, I'm gonna talk with the Black ladies a little bit, in a sense of how they dramatize things. She was trying to dramatize being it, and she was trying to build this reputation and name for herself instead of focusing on the craft. Yeah. I think the craft of the sport is where she was missing. She wasn't focused on what got her there and what people know her for. They know her for being this explosive, talented sprinter. They don't know you for all jumping out of the chair and doing all the little weeds. So that is the dramatics of the sport, and that only works when you're winning.
Yeah, thanks.
So the problem was she wasn't winning, and that's been the issue. That's been the issue the entire time. So for that being said, now that she's now getting to the point of realizing that she has the talent, she has the work, she knows how to get into it. She just needs to keep working on and honing on the craft. But why I said I'm 50-50 was she did well in the 100. She still needed a time result to get to the top to the final. Yeah. Which means when she placed 3rd in the semifinals in the 100, I mean she didn't dominate. Yeah. Right. She needed time.
And she barely got in.
And then even in the final, she start was not the greatest. She has great top speed. She has absolute world-class top speed. But she needed that to get to the 100. When she got into 2, she won the bronze. But a lot of that became she had to, she still relied on her top speed so much that she didn't run the greatest 200, and that's why she got the bronze. Yeah. She didn't run a great 200 race. And at the end of the day, Jamaicans, with Fessy Jackson, she ran a strong 100 and a strong 2. Yeah. She just lost the 1, right? Because she lost the tail end because of the fact that ShaCarri has a top end speed. And she caught her. She caught her right at the final rope take. But in the 2, she let her have it. Like, I mean, so it's just like one of those things where I'm kind of like, I need more consistency from her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I need that. I need that more. If she would have been in the 2, it'd been close. I know it's running a double sometimes very tough. It's strenuous on your day.
It's hard.
It's very hard. But if she would have ran it with more consistency, I would have been like, man, okay, she's getting there. I see she's finally getting to where she needs to go. And I just don't see the consistency just yet. Once she gets there, I'll be happy. I feel like I'm not gonna harp on her, but I feel like once she gets to that, get more consistent, we'll finally start seeing what she's really made of. She's only 23.
Consistency is everything.
I think she's only 22, 23. Is a huge age gap between her and the other sprinters, especially Jamaican sprinters, Jackson and Shirley Ann Fraser. I think it's Fraser. There's a huge age gap between those two. I mean, all those 3. So I think she has a chance to really. She's not even in her prime yet. But man, I just like to see her when she gets to the Olympics next year to truly focus on her craft and dominate.
Yeah, she got to put it together now going into it. That way, she just hitting the ground running. I'm a struggle. Now I'm trying to ramp back up. She got to be consistent, like you said, from day one to all the time.
What was your thoughts on the fact that she didn't interview with any other media but the black media?
I mean, I love it. Like she's doing it her way, and I don't have no problem with it. Do what you want to do. Like if you don't want to talk to somebody, it's okay, right? If you want to talk to the black media, give it to us. Like I have no problem with how she reacted to the media because the media was giving her the shits last year, was dogging her. So you control the narrative. You do what you want to do. I ain't got no problem with it. But it was deserved last year. Like she was on some shit last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so I understand why she chose that, and I'm fine with it. That's her choice. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of people try to the whether it's the naysayers or those people that are the cheerleaders, right? Like, it's her choice. That's her choice. That's fine. There was athletes who went through a lot of struggling beyond her as well. And like I said before, when you're a world-class sprinter who is professional, it's your professional duty to really be out there and be a part of that surface of that conversation with other media. And I would have liked to show, like for instance, I would like to see her have those interviews with them as well. And at the end of the day, just have that conversation. Unless she just be like, hey, I'm gonna wait until, I'm gonna wait until she gets on the podium and then have that conversation with them. That's fine too. Yeah. But she's been a little selective, right?
She's feeling herself right now, bro.
Feeling herself a little bit, and people are trying to cheerlead that, like, oh yeah, she should be like that. And I was kind of like, well, no, she really shouldn't. She kind of should just be focused on the fact that she just ran this hell of a race. She's a gold medalist. She's a world champion. And I felt like, the media gave her a hard time, but I think she put some of herself in that situation before. Yeah. But just not recognizing the fact that she wasn't doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Yep, absolutely.
She was doing things outside of that, and it really inflicted on her game. Yeah. And as she went back to that craft, hey, listen, now everybody sees that you are what we all thought you could be.
Yeah.
So reaching that potential is important. And I think the thing is, like, it was a and I have to talk about this. It was one of the media people that was one of the ladies who was talking to her and was pouring a lot of positive affirmations towards her, like, as far as like, hey, like, oh, you're, I'm happy that you're doing this, you get there. But I didn't like the fact that did she do the same for the other
probably not
black exactly the other black
it would have went viral, that.
Yeah, she would have did it for everybody else that won. And she would have told she would have said the same, or not the same thing, but she would have gave every black sprinter, this media member, every black sprinter who won the medal or won gold, the same reaction and opinion on how she felt about them doing well and all that. I would respect that a little bit more. I felt like they kind of do that with her. Like, you know what I mean? They kind of like give her a lot of. I mean, she needs. I mean, I respect that she deserves it at times.
Yeah.
But I feel like at the same time, when she's doing some BS, they don't shut that down, right? Like, I mean, like, so it's like, oh yeah, on one end, yeah, you should feel this way, but on the other end, but when she's BSing, you're not like, hey, listen, nah, that was some BS. Like, so, come on now, let's play it both on both hands. And if you're not gonna be like that with every black athlete, don't be like that just with her. She wasn't like I told you when I just told you about Noah Lyles, the situation when he had to go get mental a therapist to help him. Other athletes suffer through different situations.
Oh yeah, a lot of athletes are going through it, though. They may not say it.
They may not
know about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of them going through it, though. A lot of people going through it, don't know.
And she got attacked, but there's a lot of other members got attacked too. So give the same love for all of them. All right, man. Let's dive into the next topic, brother. Let's get some college football.
College week 0 this week.
Today's week 0. And we're gonna talk about one game coming out there. Jackson State against South Carolina State University tonight. Who you got? Who you think gonna win? Like, and this is the era of the after Dion, AD after Dion with Jackson State.
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a great showcase for Black college football. Buddy Pugh. I mean, your boy Pugh says his last season coaching at South Carolina State.
Yeah, he's done.
So I think J-State breaking in a new quarterback, some new players. You see how Taylor, coaches a team, first time coaching, being a head coach of J-State. But I got South Carolina State probably winning a close game, man. Just from the experience standpoint, the quarterback came from last year. He's back. So I give them the nod. South Carolina State in a close one by 7.
Jackson State finally breaks the curse, wins tonight.
They winning tonight.
Finally beats a team from the MEAC. They are 0-2. They have been 0-2. They had, first of all, the last game, Black College Football Championship they played against was absolutely amazing to watch. It was a great game between two teams that looked like they were in the class of the Black College football. NC North Carolina, I think it was North Carolina Central, actually. Yep. The Aggies, not the Aggies, but the Eagles. Playing against them, and it was good. It was a very great game. And they lost to the MEAC again. That's been the issue. They can't beat the MEAC. They can beat the SWAC, but they can't beat the MEAC. So I'm excited to see what happens. A good start to college football. It's going to be on ABC, by the way. Primetime TV, so that's good to see.
Yeah.
So good luck to both teams, but I think Jackson State finally does it today.
All
right, so early Labor Day matchups that we just discussed. LSU, FSU, who you got and why?
Ooh, I think it'll be a good one, actually, man. They're playing, Sunday night next week? We off next week. We're not recording the holiday weekend. Both got great quarterbacks, mobile. There's a lot of talk about Florida State being back. Are they really back? We're going to find out. They beat LSU last year, but in a close game. I think LSU is going to win this game. I think JT Daniels is going to have a bigger game. He's experienced now. So I got LSU beating Florida State by 4.
By 4.
It's going to be a good one, though. It's going to be a good one.
I think if this game's in Florida, different level of heat, different level of understanding. And this is the opening of the Seminoles' opportunity to take the ACC this year. So I got the Seminoles winning a close game over LSU. I think they're going to be an issue with the D tackle for LSU will be suspended for this game. That's going to be a big issue. Florida State, this is the 3rd year of their starting quarterback playing in that system. I like them. And I'm still iffy on what does LSU receiving core looks like.
Yeah,
Butte left. I don't really know who they had last year that stuck out to me outside of Butte and the tight end. The young kid, the tight end. I forgot the man for the Dolphins. I can't remember.
Jason Taylor's nephew.
No, I think that's Jason Taylor's son.
Yeah. Jason
Taylor's son. Outside of that, I don't see anything else. With that being said, I like Florida State in a very close game. But they beat the Bayou Tigers. All right, moving on.
Let's do it.
Moving on, man. Florida, Utah, This is a home series. It's been going on for last as well as it's going on for next year. I mean, last year, this year. Home series. This game will be in Utah. Who do you have winning this game?
I just think with Florida, I mean, breaking in a new quarterback, you just don't know. Going on the road to Utah Thursday night, first game of the season. Utah quarterback coming off the knee injury, but I just think Utah just gonna be too tough for him on the road. So I got Utah winning by 10.
Okay.
Sorry,
Utah.
Jalou, my man down at Florida State. I mean, Florida, the running back coach at Jalou, but sorry, brother.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game, but I got Utah winning this game. And the only reason why I'm not gonna pick Florida in this game because I just didn't like how that documentary came out.
Yo, that shit's crazy.
It made Urban Meyer look like a saint. We all know Urban Meyer was not a saint.
Yeah,
I mean, really honestly, it really made him look like a saint, bro. I did not like it. And the fact that they did right by Cam Newton by giving him his national championship ring. That man ain't got his ring yet.
That's it's sad.
That is sad, bro. He ain't got
on the team
yet. And I don't like the fact. I think they just tried to make Urban look like a saint. I didn't like that. Everybody know Urban was out there BSing, bro. And they didn't go hard on other issues they had. They talked about people getting suspended, but they didn't go all the way through. And they should have went on a little bit more about Aaron Hernandez. And I want to see why did Percy Harvin didn't get in that discussion. They didn't want
he
to.
didn't get a lot of shine at all.
He didn't. He was a man, not just him getting shine, but why didn't interview him? Was he not available? Did he not want to be available?
That's a good question.
It's a lot of different things going on, and I just feel like they just got away with a lot of different things. And then the way they gloated about winning that championship the year before when they beat Bama, I didn't like it because I watched that game, and everybody knows the only reason why they won that game because the ref threw a phantom call on McClain on a 3rd down and 5. Bama had stopped him, and they called a phantom holding call, and Bama and McClain did not hold that kid, and he was running out route, and they did not hold him, and that's how they got the first down. That's how they scored and go up 24-20. And then John Paul Wilson all of a sudden started seeing ghosts and threw the ball everywhere. And then his name, he threw that pick. But at the end of the day, I didn't like that. And another thing, why they didn't have Joe Hayden on here?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, shit, why didn't have Chris Leak? It'd have been interesting to talk about Chris Leak, talking about how the pressure of playing Tebow, how did that affect him? Like, it'd have been interesting to see what.
Chris Leak, Joe Hayden, Percy Harvin.
Yeah,
it was guys that I was like, why are these dudes on there? Mm-hmm. I didn't like it that much. I thought it was, like I said, I just think they pick people who Urban Meyer respected more. I don't think they really picked guys that was not maybe they weren't big Urban Meyer guys. Chris Leak probably eventually wasn't. And I didn't think the same. I thought the same thing about some of the other guys. I just think they probably just didn't like Urban that much. They didn't want to be on there.
Urban was rough as shit on them boys for real.
It's rough, and I didn't like the fact. And here's the thing: well, I did like it at the end. I did love the part they got beat. But what I did like is how they try to play us. They they were like, hey, like we still felt like we could have beat them. They try to put it on this implodement of their team with their 2-star players, being Tim Tebow and Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
It was Cooks, not Cooks. It was a Brandon
Spikes, right? Was it Spikes?
Spikes, yeah. And I'm watching that and I'm thinking like, well, they don't. And the guys were missing. We still felt like we could have beat them. First of all, you got beat bad. Like the score wasn't that close. It was like 32-13. But the thing is, what they didn't specify, Alabama had the number 1 classes for their last 2 years. Like that 2008, I think that was Nick Saban's second season when they lost. That was the second season. And then in 2009, he had the number 1 classes back to back. Yeah. So that 2009 class, that was Julio's in them sophomore year. The sophomore year, that was Ingram's sophomore year. That was Richardson's freshman year. That was like that line was there.
That was loaded.
They had dogs. So they acted like the way he act was like they act like they should have done it. I didn't like it, so I ain't cheering for you. So yeah, I got Utah winning a close game.
Yes, sir.
Let's go with prime time. My man Deion Sanders. He's gonna eventually open it up, and he's gonna eventually he's gonna open up with TCU next week.
Mhm.
Brand new Nike gear.
Yes, sir.
Shador's first year with the Colorado Buffaloes. We're gonna see the both one of the most Travis Hunter, one of the most talented players in college football. This is Deion's opening game, prime TV. Give me your thoughts on it. Who's gonna win and why?
It's gonna be a close one. Prime got some talent in certain spots, but it's gonna be interesting to see the D line. I mean the O line. To keep Shador, upright. The throws he was making in the SWAC, will he be able to make those in the big time D1 where DBs are quick, right? TCU's bringing in a new quarterback. But Sonny Dykes, he's been around a long time. I think he's gonna have TCU ready. I got TCU winning by 10, and I think Prime will show that he can coach. We know he can, but I just think he just gotta give him a couple years to get his talent in there. But I got TCU winning.
Man, they gonna get smoked.
I wouldn't be surprised at that too. Yeah,
Man, they gonna get smoked, dog. Like that thing ain't gonna be close, bro.
smoking on
I
that.
hate to keep it 100 with you, bro. I hate to be honest. I gotta be honest. They gonna get smoked. Like that thing ain't gonna be close, bro. I ain't gonna lie, cause dog, you think about the premier positions they have is quarterback, and receiver with Travis Hunter and DBs.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about. We don't hear about their linebackers. We don't hear about their front line and dog.
Receiver, nothing.
Receiver like dog, like your front line on both sides of the ball, defensive, offensive, got to be dominant. That's how he won at Jackson State. He won on at the approach of the attack, which is your line, your D line and your O line.
Yeah,
bro. Like without neither, like what are he gonna do? Like, bro, he gonna get smoked. I mean, it's gonna be absolute like smoking. But they will look good because I've seen them sneakers. I've seen them do
diamond turf.
The diamond turfs, and they had the prime on it. They clean. Yeah. Like the cleats are gonna be clean. I mean, they're gonna be clean. They're gonna be super sharp, but they're gonna get their ass smoked. Like, they're gonna get smoked. I don't care what he say. They gonna get their ass smoked. But he gonna be clean though. I don't like you will win best dress.
Yeah, they're gonna win that. They're gonna
win. But you damn sure about to win ass whipping of the week.
Like what Alabama State gonna do against Southern?
They'll win. Yeah. They'll win a very. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be a close game. They'll win. They'll win again. It'll be probably around. They'll win by 10. Yeah. They're just more talented than Southern. And even though Southern's gonna come in with a focus in a business-like situation where they're gonna come and play well. Early in the season, gonna be a lot of turnovers, but we got a veteran quarterback this year. There's no excuse for him this year. He should come out there and play well. Yeah. I expect a big season for him this year. And I think this year he needs to understand these injury situations because last year he kept getting hurt for some odd ass reason. Yeah. So I think this year I expect him to have a big year. And I expect him to end up being offensive player of the year in the SWAC.
Over the boy from Florida A&M?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
They picked him like preseason SWAC player, offensive player.
Second season. Yeah. He should know how teams are tackling this year. Stay healthy, stay upright, come out of Auburn. I do feel like he's going to end up being player of the year.
Yeah, Grambling got Hampton in Jersey this weekend, coming up next week.
Yeah. I thought you were going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there. Hopefully the quarterback situation squared away, dog. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Pray for us. Pray for us, dog. Come on, Hugh. Let's get it right, bro.
Well, so here's a quick thing. Did you watch the Bishop Sycamore?
Nah, I saw the highlights of that joint. I like.
Now you need to watch it. So they had a kid they offered. Hugh had a kid they offered for Grambling. Mm-hmm. Offered a scholarship to Grambling.
Yeah.
And after they found out the whole situation with Bishop Sycamore, they took his scholarship away.
Damn. Yeah, I'm about to say
like you gotta watch it, man. Like, first of all, you need to watch it because the dude of Bishop Sycamore was wow. Like he is I've never seen a con artist of his level.
That's wild.
I'm not seeing of his level. Of course, guys who embezzle millions and billions of dollars, sure.
Yeah.
But at that level of conning, was like I've never seen like that ever before. Like it just situational wise, having the parents believe in you, when your parents believe in you, and just the nature that he was moving in. I mean, this dude still owes the court system and different venues like 300,000. But he was ending up at some point. He was putting rooms and players' names, and when they were getting kicked out, they were sending, they have to send that to the court system.
Right.
So they were owed the court, 300,000-400,000. They had them taking out PPP loans, and I was this dude was willing to pay for the tuition, and I'm like, all that money, nobody know where it went.
Right.
And then at the beginning, he said, well, if I did something illegal, I'm not in jail. So I'm like, wow, you have to watch it, man. But they had a guy that was on scholarship that they had who gave a scholarship to. They were totally invested in it. And they found out about the Bishop Sycamore situation, and they took the scholarship away.
Damn. Better late than never, boy. Jesus Christ.
He was on his way
to
school, and they took his scholarship away. Hey, man, we can't give you a scholarship. And then I think he ended up being ineligible because he played on that team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They had to do a sophomore and junior college on that team.
Terrible, bro. How you even afford to allow that shit? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
That's crazy, man. So next week we're out, but the following week we want to definitely take a moment to pick our NFL division winners.
Absolutely.
We got to get everybody. We got to get all four together on that. Me and you can't be the only two voices on that, man. That's gonna probably get a little crazy. That may take all podcast to get through that whole conversation about talking about division winners, because it's gonna be everybody's gonna have their own picks. Everybody have their own thoughts, and we all have our own teams in general anyway. So,
yes, sir.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, though, who you think gonna win the SWAC? By the way, before we get out of here, right now,
I got J State. I think they'll probably win it, and they'll probably play. Man, damn. It's just so hard, bro, because it's hard picking it when you're not really seeing the teams and not knowing who's gonna be good. So can I get a week reprieve?
Let's take a couple of weeks. We got.
I need to see them.
We gotta pick that. We gotta pick our national champion. We gotta go all in, man. So a couple of weeks. We gotta have this discussion with four of us. We gotta pick all these teams in our national championship, with a black football national championship and the actual college football national championship as well.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
All right, man. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Man, great show, man. A dynamic duo, man. Shout out to Bryce, his first high school game today. Looking at Keon sitting like they blew the team out.
He's sitting us while we're recording, like we're not recording. But yes, we see Keon that they blown off 50-10. They're at home. Riverdale Baptist Crusaders is where his son plays at. The game supposed to have been last night. Is he on varsity or is he on junior varsity?
Yeah, on varsity.
Is he on varsity? You sure?
Yes, yeah, I'm positive.
Why was the game last night so early?
It was at 7, but like I said, the whole weather thing, they moved.
Oh, okay. Got it. Great, man. So we got to see some tape on that. We'll be there in the next couple of weeks to go check them out to see what it looks like in person, man. But congratulations him and his Riverdale Baptist Crusader football team on winning their first game of the season.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, great show, man. Definitely good to be, on the air. And man, make sure y'all continue to support us, man.
Absolutely, man. I have nothing else to say off of that.
All right, we out of here.